Hi everyone, my name is Nivedhan Singh, and I'm here to tell you some pretty alarming details about the physical abuse that I suffered under Bishop Prince Singh. There have been attempts to minimize what happened to me, minimize the abuse that I suffered as spanking, as regular punitive corporal punishment. As an educator, I don't approve of physical violence to discipline a child in any context. But I can tell you right now that what I experienced was more than spanking. Uddi is the Tamil word for beating, and Tamil is the South Indian language that I grew up speaking in the house with my family. Anytime I misbehaved, acted like a brat, was late for school, got something wrong on my homework, misbehaved in church, my dad would pose the threatening question to me, "Uddi Venama?" And it was often a lot louder than that, and screamed. If we were in public and my father was about to administer an uddi, he would grab my arm and pull me hard into another space so that people couldn't see. If he was administering an uddi when I was at home, I would try and run away, and he would pull me and prevent me from running away. The beatings themselves were hard strikes across my thighs, arms, face, and buttocks. I remember every single one of them as though they just happened yesterday. I remember gasping for air and not being able to breathe during the beatings and yelling for him to please stop. I think that in his mind, what he did was logical. When I've confronted him about it, he said that I was a difficult kid. And I'm not going to argue with that. I think I probably was. But when someone has been drinking, I don't feel like they have full control of their physical strength. And often these beatings would leave handprints and marks on my body. There was one morning before school when I was running late and my dad was holding my younger brother. And I can tell you exactly where we were in the house. When he tried to hit me, I cowered. And in my cowering, I fell to the floor. And because he was holding my brother, he couldn't use his hands to beat me. So while I was on the floor, he kicked me repeatedly. I believe it was 3 times. One of the kicks hit me really hard on the knee. And I remember screaming for him to stop. And then I remember limping to the car. And I remember being in gym class that day and asking to sit out because I had hurt my knee. When I was questioned about why, I said that I fell running late for school. I didn't know that what was happening to me was unusual. It was just what I was used to. I loved my father, and I didn't want to jeopardize my relationship with him by being honest about what was going on at home. My father threw things all the time. I remember cell phones being smashed, video game systems destroyed in front of my eyes. I remember the first time my dad tried to give my younger brother an uddi when he was only 2 years old, and I got between him and my brother, and I said, no, I will not allow this to continue. I had a lot of trouble with bedwetting when I was a kid. It went on till I was about 12, 13 years old. And when I would wet the bed, I would also get beat. And that just made me wet the bed more. What happened to me was more than spanking. It was deliberate, overpowering physical violence from an ordained individual against his child. And I will not stand for silencing and minimization of what that felt like, because I live with it every day. Every day I hear his voice asking, "Uddi Venama, Uddi Venama," and I hear and feel his hands on my body. And I have brought that pain and damage to every relationship that I've been in. It is hard for me to feel emotionally safe in relationships that I start. I constantly feel like I'm offending people on a daily basis because of how much my very existence offended my father enough where he would strike me as a child multiple times. There have been attempts to paint me and my brother as boys in this. Paint us as petulant. I am not a boy. I'm a man who finally feels brave enough to go public about the abuse that I suffered. And I feel that if I share my story, maybe there are other children of ordained people and other Indian children living in this country who can avoid being physically abused like I was.